Let us listen to our gathering music, Let Justice Roll Down by Eileen Vance.
There is no freedom, the wise man said. Let justice roll down when the poor cry out for shelter and bread. Let justice roll down like a mighty stream. Oh, children, don't you get weary, walk together, believe in that dream. When the way gets rough, we'll make a new way. Let justice roll down like a mighty stream. Hatred will never drive out hate. Let love roll down, roll down. Remember, our hearts can make us great. Let love roll down like a mighty stream. Oh, children, don't you get weary, walk together, believe in that dream. When the way gets rough, we'll make a new way. Let love roll down like a mighty stream. When brutality threatens our daughters and sons, let peace roll down, roll down. May our voices ring out above the guns. Let peace roll down like a mighty stream. Oh, children, don't you get weary, walk together, believe in that dream. When the way gets rough, we'll make a new way. Let peace roll down like a mighty stream. And when fists rise up to strike a blow, let songs roll down, roll down. May the poets remind us of what we know. Let songs roll down like a mighty stream. Oh, children, don't you get weary, walk together, believe in that dream. When the way gets rough, we'll make a new way. Let songs roll down like a mighty stream. Step by step, one by one, let justice roll down, roll down. They can kill the prophet, but the dream lives on. Let justice roll down like a mighty stream. Oh, children, don't you get weary, walk together, believe in that dream. When the way gets rough, we'll make a new way. Let justice roll down, let it roll down. Let justice roll down, let it roll down. Let justice roll down, let it roll. Let justice roll down like a mighty stream.
That was wonderful. I love that song so much. Good morning and welcome to Granite Peak Unitarian Universalist Congregation in Prescott, Arizona. I'm Kelsey Wilkes, your worship associate today. We extend a warm welcome to all and we are glad you're able to join us, and we hope you are in good health and enjoying fall. We want to stay connected, so please join us for breakout rooms after the service. This will give us time to chat with congregants in small groups. If you're joining us for the first time, please check out our website for more information about us at prescottuu.org. This is the mission statement of our congregation. We are a compassionate spiritual community that celebrates diversity, nurtures the personal and spiritual growth of all ages, shares our gifts, promotes justice for all, and serves the world we live in. We extend our thanks to all who contribute to the presentation of our service today, especially Heather Knowles for her technical direction, the Granite Peak worship team, and we welcome back our guest speaker, Reverend Becky Gunn. After a 30-year career in business, Reverend Gunn chose to go to Star King School for the Ministry and become a UU ministry. She did her internship in Albany, New York, an intern ministry in Boulder, Colorado, and her called ministry for 6 years in Bangor, Maine, where she became Minister Emerita in 2014. Her focus in ministry was spiritual growth associated with social justice. She retired to Prescott in 2015, and I've known Becky since 2017 when I joined AAUW. I'm so happy that she's joining us once again. Welcome, Becky. Whether you are newcomers, friends, or longtime members, we appreciate that you've chosen to join us on this first Sunday following the autumn equinox. The smell of fall is in the air. If you have unanswered questions about who we are, please check out our website, prescottuu.org. In the order of service, you will find information on Granite Peak's Zoom meetings happening throughout the week, our current food pantry needs, and a couple of announcements that I would like to add. There is the Blessing of the Animals next Sunday and an Empty Bowls event. While we will bless our animals next Sunday, we also remember the many people who seek food banks for their sustenance. Pet bowls created by our local artists will be available for a $10 minimum donation, and all proceeds will go to support our area food banks. Also, check out the adult faith development offerings in the order of service and weekly peak, along with additional announcements. Our Children's Faith Development Program is once again meeting in person in the Faith Development building today at both 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock under the guidance of Bev Bostrom and Robert Shegog. I'm going to open this morning's service by reading Granite Peak's mission statement. We are a compassionate spiritual community that celebrates diversity, nurtures the personal growth of all ages, shares our gifts, promotes justice for all, and serves the world we live in. We will now do our chalice lighting. We light this chalice with commitment as a community to join together step by step, building a world that is more equitable and just. We seek common good, we seek truth, and we are bound by love for each other and all life. And now please listen to our words of gathering, Invocation by Angela Herrera. Becky?
Don't leave your broken heart at the door. Bring it to the altar of life. Don't leave your anger behind. It has high standards, and the world needs vision. Bring them with you, and your joy and your passion. Bring your loving and your courage and your commitment and your convictions. Bring your need for healing and your power for healing. There is work to do, and you have all that you need to do it right here in this community. Now, join us during this hour and consider how our love, our compassion, our courage, our convictions can create miracles, both large and small, for the common good. Now, join us in singing our opening hymn, who is sung by the Sacramento Gay Men's Chorus. And the song is, How Could Anyone?
I love that. Now join me in saying the words to our covenant. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve others in community. Thus do we covenant together.
For our joys and concerns today, we will ring our chime 3 times. Our first is in memory of all those who have gone before us, those who have lit our way through their strength. The second is for those of us here today seeking, searching for deeper meaning in our journey together. The third is for all those who continue to carry on the light of our faith community through vision, resolve, and love. Please sing these words of comfort.
As we listen to this musical interlude for our offertory, please take a moment to embrace the feeling of connection and community that we have when we gather each week. And let us remember that this congregation and its programs are supported by your generosity. We also give back to the greater community through our Seeds of Support program. For the month of September, our Seeds of Support money goes to the Arizona Family Health Partnership, a private nonprofit organization dedicated to making reproductive health care and education available and accessible to all individuals in Arizona. To give during this distance time, please go to prescottuu.org, and on the bottom of the left-hand side, click the word donate to contribute. The link is also available in the chat on this video. What is given in love is received in gratitude. And now our offertory music, Open My Heart.
Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part I seek. Let me be part of the love. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part I seek. Let me be part of the love. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part I seek. Let me be part of the love you give.
And now our reading, A Drop in the Bucket by Gordon B. McKeeman. What is it about inadequacy, futility, and insignificance? A drop in the bucket. What's the sense? What's the use? We're no longer in the center of things. Copernicus removed the Earth from the center of the solar system. Darwin removed humans from the center of the Earth. Astronomy has removed the solar system from the center of the universe. Well, who are they? Are we then? And where are we? Psychologists call us weak, watery solutions, more or less jellified. And Mark Twain said, man is the only animal that blushes or needs to. Just suppose that we are the merest drops in a bucket. There are unspoken assumptions here. We assume that a full bucket is what we're aiming at, and that until the bucket is full, nothing has been accomplished. There's never a shortage of buckets. The empty bucket litany is long and tedious. Racism, sexism, ableism, authoritarianism, oppression, injustice, violence, environmental degradation, and overpopulation. You feel like a drop in the bucket? Who asked you to fill the bucket, especially alone? Remember how many there are who share your concern. We may feel daunted, but we are not one drop. A sense of isolation is the parent of the dropping in the bucket feeling. Sometimes one can decide on the size of the bucket. Don't you think you could do a large bucket? If you don't, try a smaller size. Even imparting a bit of hope, a pat on the back, a final contribution, a few hours of volunteer service, every drop helps. It might even be wiser to remember why you need to fill this bucket, possibly to quench the thirst of someone hard at work on a larger one. That buckets of whatever size are filled one drop at a time. If you don't help, it will take even longer. That your drop may be the one of the last ones needed. Where would we be if everyone gave up on putting drops in the bucket? Probably much worse. Persistence depends on patience and keeping at it when there's little to reassure us. It would be too bad to give up, to sit back, bemoan the sorry state of the world, and wonder why somebody, anybody, everybody, but not me, thank you, doesn't do something about it. After all, the Grand Canyon was fashioned by drops of water, as ordinary as they seem. Little miracles, little drops of water evoke bigger miracles. More love, more justice. Just one joined with many communities, and the possibilities become infinite. And now, please listen to our musical interlude, Step by Step, The Longest March.
Step by step, the longest march can be won, can be won. Many stones can form an arch, singly none, singly none. And by union, what we will can be accomplished still. Drops of water turn a mill, singly none, singly none. Step by step, the longest march can be won, can be won. Many stones can form an arch, singly none, singly none. And by union, what we will can be accomplished still. Drops of water turn a mill, singly none, singly none.
I believe. I believe in miracles. I believe that inexplicable things happen. I believe that good things happen for no reason at all. I believe that miracles happen because people believe they can happen. I believe in miracles. All this may seem very, anti-Jeffersonian at the very least, anti-Unitarian as well. Remember that Jefferson rewrote the New Testament, taking out all of the miracles. They just weren't possible from a rational point of view. One must acknowledge that most of the miracles that occurred in the story of Jesus in the New Testament were, in fact, inexplicable, not likely, certainly not rational. And let us be real. The myth that grew up around Jesus during both his life and after his death were just that, myth. All that said, I believe that what Jesus did was miraculous. He brought hope to a hopeless people, a subjugated people. He gave them reason to believe in themselves and in the possibility of paradise on this earth. That is miraculous under the circumstances, under any circumstances. Were the miracles of healing, of raising the dead, of converting a few loaves and fishes into enough to feed a multitude, of converting wine into water, or water into wine, sorry. Were these miracles real? Perhaps, and perhaps not. There is a tale in the Hebrew Bible which provides the miracle that is celebrated during Hanukkah. Did the limited oil last for 7 days in the temple? We do not know. We do not know if there was a miracle then, but we do know that the people had hope, and that hope somehow materialized. As with the miracles of Jesus, the miracle that generated the holiday of Hanukkah was one girded with hope. And so often hope requires a miracle. The rational among us are saying, how can you believe in miracles? Well, the kind of miracles I believe in, that I hope most of you believe in as well, are not necessarily the result of a higher power. My definition of miracle is the power of energy, of love, of faith, evoking the impossible or next to impossible. I believe that miracles are real because we personally recognize the inexplicable in life. I believe in miracles because I have experienced miracles. I have a son who was born 45 years ago. He is the light of my life, my miracle. I had what might be called a high-risk pregnancy. I spent the last month and a half in bed. I was induced, had a very long labor, and then expired during delivery. Yes, they said in the delivery room, she's gone, save the baby. I have memories of this. Some would call it a near-death experience. To me, it is simply a miracle. Some force, be it technology, be it my personal will, be it God, saved my life so that I could raise my son. In days gone by, I would have died on that table. So part of this miracle is the historical time period during which I was born. Part of this miracle is that my son also could have died. He went into the pediatric ICU after his birth. Again, if it had been even 50 years before, he would not have survived. This I call inexplicable. The timing and the technology. In large part, this was caused by humans, not external divine intervention. Nevertheless, it was miraculous. How many of you have had experiences that you would call miraculous? They needn't be grand. For instance, the ordinary birth of a child, that's inexplicable. Science may be able to explain the progression from conception to embryonic development to birth to consciousness, but the birth of any human being, actually any creature, is miraculous. And I'm not belittling science or the ability of the human mind when I say this. Actually, what I am saying is that the human mind and that its ability to conceptualize, to imagine, to create is miraculous. I am convinced that miracles are a part of everyday life. The sky blue pink of a morning sunrise, the birds and their chirping, the howls of the coyotes, the green and golden landscape of the state trust land behind my house are awe-inspiring. Not logically awe-inspiring, something deeper, touching my very essence. New light each and every day, even if I don't understand why, it still happens. These are facts of life, but nevertheless, awesome. I think of the light in children's eyes when they greet someone they love. I think of the light in a young person's whole countenance when they get it, when they understand something they previously had not, intellectually or emotionally. I think of love as miraculous. I honestly can't figure out why I love. It happens. It's inexplicable. I also can't reasonably discern why anyone could love me, this old, less than disciplined, flawed woman. But somehow, miraculously, some do love me. This is true for each of us. We are loved by others and by our community. Can you explain it? You can say, oh, you're beautiful, that's why you're loved. Well, yes, you are. But is there an explanation to that? No. Love. Love is a miracle. We can't expect miracles. We can't expect that prayers asking for miracles will be answered. We can hope. But miracles are not evoked on demand. Yet I do think there is human agency involved. The divine within us, within each of us, can generate miracles. Yes, we can be miracle makers. Yeah, this is a somewhat presumptuous concept. Aren't miracles left to the divine powers beyond us humans? For some, maybe, but I believe we each bring an energy that, when focused, can move the proverbial mountain. Part of the miracle of Jesus's life is that he was so focused on his message, on the way toward hope, he was able to gather a large following. And this following challenged the powers that be, both Roman and Jewish. The sum of the whole, the energy and commitment to justice and to love, was greater than the sum of its part. That is in part what a miracle is. A bigger result, an inexplicable outcome that might not otherwise be expected. In the life of this country, there have been miracles. The one which I recall personally is the miracle of the civil rights movement. A few people got together and rejected their oppression. A few more, and then many more threw off their chains. The movement grew. There was nothing remarkable about this attempt at true freedom except that the energy, the commitment, the hope, somehow miraculously coalesced into a movement that could not be suppressed. There were individual heroes, there were martyrs, but it wasn't the God in heaven who made it happen. It was a group of people, a community, combining their wisdom, their abilities, their determination, so that the end result, the common good, was more than had happened previously. My premise here, that the people involved in the movement made it happen, made the miracle of freedom happen. Rights were affirmed. People were empowered to become who they were meant to be. Was the miracle perfect? Have all the benefits been permanent? No. Nevertheless, a miracle happened. I believe miracles happen through community. From my perspective these days, it's almost a miracle that people come together as communities with a belief in justice and compassion and loving one's neighbors. But it is in these communities where love lives, where passion lives in moving our world toward the common good. Our Unitarian Universalist faith community is one place where these miracles happen. But it is also a community focused to some degree on the individual, not the whole. Using our first principle, many of us focus on the worth and dignity of every singular person. We can respond, well, don't we believe in the interconnectedness of all life? That means we're speaking of the human community and the natural community. Hence, don't we believe that we have a responsibility to make sure that what we do is for the betterment of our world? Hence, we are communities working for the common good. What happens, though? I ask, what happens when my needs and wants differ from what you think are your needs and your wants? I personally hope that I side with the community, with the common good, but this may not be a clearly delineated choice. There must be a balance between the individual and the community, but I feel that today in our world, we do not have a balance, that the community and the common good get shorted by a radical individualism that runs rampant through our society, and sadly in some congregations, to the overall detriment of most of us. From what I know of Granite Peak, I believe there is a commitment to community, and that community is focused on justice, equity, and compassion. I also believe that this community is then also tied to the overall common good in the larger community and society in general. So, what is the common good? Do we agree on what that is? Most of us have individualized perspectives, but we may not agree on what that common good is. Based on what I perceive to be my needs, I may not want to sacrifice those needs to what you think are your needs. Part of the miracle of Unitarian Universalism is that it allows people with different beliefs to come together. We worship together, but we also consider issues together. Most often, we come to a form of consensus about issues that we want to include in our social justice work. We have enough issues that we don't all work on the same projects, but our goal is the same, the common good agreed upon by our community. So how do miracles fit in here? The energy of the community is the miracle. And that energy, that miracle, evokes other miracles. As in the reading that Kelsey read this morning, we tend to fill our social justice buckets one drop at a time. Each drop is part of a miracle, and each drop is hydration for the common cause. It's circular. A drop of water is a miracle. We need that drop to survive and thrive. And by giving of our own drops of water, we allow justice to flow, for families to be fed, to provide housing for the homeless, to help others, and foster community in a wider sense than just this small but vital UU community. Many of us recognize that right now, more than ever before, in my opinion, that we need miracles. And let's be clear, these miracles for the common good cover a wide gamut of issues. We as individuals cannot solve them all. We as a community of people cannot solve them all. But we can create. We must create. If we are to survive as a world, create our own miracles, small but great. We can be single drops in the bucket, but we must believe that our drops will grow. Now, this congregation does much to generate the energy necessary to confront the obstacles preventing a wholesome and vibrant world. In this week's Granite Peak UU newsletter, I know it has a name, I just don't know what it is, I noticed that there were 10 groups or organizations that GPUUC supports. There's a discussion group about disability rights. There's the support for the Arizona Family Health Partnership. There is the food pantry, the involvement in the Women's March and Rally the first weekend of October. There are other organizations, Fridays for the Future, Justice at the Border, the League of Women Voters, protecting the right of workers to organize, and UU Justice for Arizona. Those are the ones just mentioned this week. Those are groups and events where miracles are happening each and every day. And you support them and nurture their energy and their focus. Sometimes I think that we don't think that we're capable of miracles, much less walking in one more march. But we must always remember to take care of ourselves so that we can take care of others. But each of us is a miracle. Just the fact that we exist. And each of us has the divine energy within to create miracles, large and small. Our opening hymn today, sung by the Sacramento Gay Men's Chorus, was "How Could Anyone Tell You You Were Anything Less Than Beautiful?" Years ago, when I was lost and felt less than beautiful, I heard this sung by a group of women. It felt as if they were singing it to me. I love these women and they me. And we were all beautiful. As are you. That love, that connection, that community reinforced the fact that our beauty is a miracle and that together we are empowered to create miracles, miracles for the common good. I believe in miracles. The miracle of life, of love, of light, of consciousness, of healing, of community. Let us all become even more aware of the miracles in our lives, the ones we help create, as well as the ones with which we are blessed. So be it. Please join in singing "We Would Be One," which is performed by the Church of the Greater Fellowship Chancel Choir.
To
Believe. Believe in love, in life, in miracles. Live with an awareness of love, of life, of miracles. Be grateful for love, for life, for miracles, and for that energy and those miracles we evoke for the common good. Blessed be, Namaste, Shanti, Amen.
Thank you, Becky. I'm just thinking about how the miracle of Zoom all together. It's unbelievable, and I love seeing everybody's faces. Now, please join us in saying the words on the screen as we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Thank you, Reverend Becky, and I do love you. It was another inspiring message and a reminder that miracles happen each and every day. And now I invite you to take as much time as you wish to visit with your friends and visitors in our chat rooms. Stay online to be put in the chat room and greet others on this rainy fall morning, another miracle. Our worship time has ended and now our service begins. Dare to go bravely forward in our continued support for a just and free world, finding and sharing miracles as you go. Stay healthy, be safe, so may it be.